Very good morning, Riddhi. Welcome to the next video of accountancy, everyone. Okay, today the topic I will show you how to do the journal entries. Okay, how to do the journal entries. I'm waiting for others to join because today I've sent you the links a little bit late, so I'll not late but on the time, not late but on the time. So I'm just waiting for others to join it. Okay, it may takes 20 to 15 seconds to join it. Okay, so I'm waiting for others to join it. Till that time, you open your copies exercise book. That is this exercise book. You open and keep it with yourself. Good morning, Punit. Today's weather is very nice, so I know most of you will not be wanting to do the class. Very less people will. Okay, don't worry. You all can see the videos afterwards also. Okay. So is my voice is clear to you all? Okay, thank you, Riddhi. Kriti, good morning, Kriti. So you can see what I have written. Can you see my this notes? What I have written? Okay, good. Okay, now I'll tell you. I'm starting my class. Okay, now I'll tell you what is this and the things. See, it is written under section 49 of Partnership Act 1932. Last time what we did section 48. Now what we are doing, section Pushpalata. Good morning, Pushpalata. Section 49 of Partnership Act 1932. What are there? There are two debts. There are two types of debts. One is firm's debt and one is private debt. This I have already taught you in your previous class. So just I am going to explain you one more time how you should be knowing it. Okay, along with me you will write all these things. Firm's debt. What is firm's debt? Firm's debt is that debt owned by the firm. Debt owned by the firm to outsider. Means those debts which is owned by the firm. Okay. Now what is private debt? Debt owned by the partners. That is known as private debt. I will not say that is partners debt. Okay, Ankita, good morning. That is private debt. Debt owned by the partners in a personal capacity. In a personal capacity, that is known as private debt. Okay. Now how these both debts will be paid? How these both and who will pay it? How these both debts will be paid in dissolution at the time of when the business is closing. When the business is closing, how and who will pay the firm debts and how and who will pay the private debts. So first I have written utilization of firm's property. The first thing what is that we will utilize of the firm's property. When we are utilizing the firm's property, first pay firm's debt. When we are utilizing the firm's property, we have to first pay off the firm's debt. Okay, firm's property, firm's debt. And then second we will pay the, if any amount is left over, then we will pay the private debt. This yesterday only I have showed you with this thing. Okay, application of assets. I have shown you that application of assets. First realization account, that is realization expenses, outside liabilities. I told you what is outside liabilities. We have now only done debt owned by firm to outsiders. Okay, so first we are paying to the outsiders, that is firm's liability, then to the partner's loan, then to the partner's capital. Okay, that is the thing over here. We are saying when we are utilizing the firm's property, first pay firm's debt, then you pay the private debt. Now, when we are utilizing the partner's property, then first pay the private debt that is owned by the partner, second pay the firm's debt. Means whose property, yesterday also I told you, those property will be there. The property belongs to, suppose one property belongs to me, my name is Pinky, okay, and one property belongs to Riddhi. Now if I have owned something from the outside and Riddhi has also owned from the outside, if I am selling my property, then whom I will pay it first? To Riddhi's owners or to my own liabilities? First I will pay it to my own liabilities. So here the things are being selfish motive. Then first firm's property, if it is utilized, then firm's debt is paid, then leftover private. And from partners, first partners debt is paid and then firm's debt. So this concept is very clear to you all. Is this the concept very clear? You do this concepts because it will come in your adjustments. Okay. Now moving to the second part, the treatment of realization expenses. What is expenses? You know what is expenses? Paying of the liabilities. That this to bank, this is to bank, whichever we have paid, that is only known as realization expenses. Okay, and this is realization income. This is realization expenses, this is realization income. That's why Riddhi, yesterday you told me that realization is a nominal account, isn't it? So that's why it is known as nominal income. All expenses are debited and all incomes are credited. All expenses are debited and all incomes are credited. So when we are paying the liabilities, it is expenses by to bank we are writing, and when we are writing by bank, when we are receiving any amount in cash by selling the assets, that is the income of the firm. Because realization is which account? Realization is for a firm account. Okay. Now let us see the treatment of realization account. Okay. Now realization expenses paid by the firm. Now I told you when it is paid by the firm, when it is utilizing the firm property, how it will be paid in the journal entries. Now I'm going to show you the journal entries. Paid by the firm on behalf of the firm itself. If the expenses is of firm and firm is only paying. If the expenses is of firm and firm is only paying, then it will pay as to bank account. Like over here, see, in journal I am writing to bank, and in the ledger also you go on matching. If you have written in your copy, see, to bank we are paying it off. Okay, what will be the journal entry then? Realization account debited to bank, isn't it? So we have written that way only. Realization account debited to bank account. Okay, because we are paying. Paying means money is going. Debit what comes in, and cash is what is our current assets, and asset is what? A real account. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. If any asset is reducing, you remember one fact. If any assets is reducing, then it will come on credit side of journal entries. If any assets is increasing, it will come on debit side of journal entries. Vice versa of for liabilities. Sorry, not of, for liabilities. Okay, if any liability is decreasing, it will go on the debit side. If any liability is increasing, it will go on the credit side. Okay, so this one you remember here. Remember this rule you remember for this part. Okay, I hope you remember. Asset increasing. When asset increase means what? When stock is increasing, we are bringing the stock. Stock like furniture, any goods is increasing. Capital stock or normal stocks, goods, that if it is an increasing, where we put on the debit side. Means when we purchase anything, that means a stock is increasing, we put on the debit side. Now if any stock is decreasing, if we purchase anything, similarly we pay off for that stock. In similar regardingly with that only, if we are paying off like cash, one stock is coming and one stock is decreasing, that stock which is coming in, one asset which is coming in, that will be debited, and one asset which is decreasing, that will be credited. Suppose cash is decreasing, so what you do when you pay the cash, you always write to bank or to cash. If you paid it by check, then you write to bank. If you paid it by cash, then you write to cash. Okay, so okay, wait Punit, I'm just reading what you have written in the comment. Okay, so you remember all these things, I don't have to explain you again. Okay, in the depth I am going in dissolution, because dissolution is very important chapter. Again and again I am telling you all, dissolutions, admission, retirement and dissolution, this three is the most ultimate important chapter, you mark it. Okay, now what you have written? I have still not explained this payment made by the behalf of the partner. Punit, I have still not went. I'm just in the starting part only. Okay, Punit, let me finish. Why do you all ask me the question before I finished it off? You write it and keep it about with it yourself. Okay, let me finish it off. Punit, I have not still paid by partner. Still, I haven't. I didn't go it. I'm just over here only. Okay, I think some network problem is there with your thing. Okay. No problem. Punit, listen it to it properly. On behalf of the firm itself, so it will be to bank, realization account to bank. On behalf of the partner, if firm is paying on the behalf of the partner, means I told you na, second pay private debt. If firm is paying, if firm's property private, means partner's debt is paying. If firm's property, partner's debt is paying, the same way we will write to bank account, but under partner's capital. Why we will write under partner capital? Because it is a partner's liability. So partner capital account debited to bank account. Partner's capital account debited to bank account. Okay. Now coming to paid by partner. Now when partner is paying on behalf of the firm, when partner is paying, then it will be to partner's capital account, realization account debited to partner's capital. If any liabilities of firm's liability, firm का liability होगा तो firm में जाएगा, partner का liability होगा तो कोई भी पे करे partner's account में जाएगा. Have you got it? लिख लो. If you want to write, I'm telling it very slowly, you write it. If any liability is of firms, then if partner is paying, then it will go to partner's capital account. If firm is paying, then it will go to firms. अगर firm के पैसा निकल रहा है तो फर्म से पैसा निकल रहा है तो फर्म के अकाउंट में जाएगा, चाहे वो पार्टनर का हो या खुद का हो. ठीक है. नाउ सी ओवर हियर, इफ ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ पार्टनर, if partner is paying, then it will go to partner's capital account. If firm is paying on behalf of partner, then it will go to partner's capital account. जिसका जो होगा, on behalf of firm to partner's capital account, to partner's realization account debited to partner's capital account. Now पार्टनर का पार्टनर खुद पे कर रहा है अपना प्राइवेट, पार्टनर खुद पे कर रहा है अपना प्राइवेट, तो रियलाइजेशन एक्सपेंस नहीं आएगा. नो एंट्री विल बी पास्ड. No entry will be passed over here. I am showing of realization expenses. Okay. This partner capital is what? On behalf of partner. If firm is paying on behalf of partner, if partner is paying on behalf of firm. If partner is paying on behalf of firm. Okay. Now you see the journal entries. Can you see? Have you understood that thing, Punit? Now you have understood? Punit, have you understood? You tell me that what you wanted about partners and firm. Behalf of partners and firm, have you understood, Punit? Otherwise I will explain you once again. Tell me. Punit is not giving me answer. Okay, let it be. Others, have you understood? Others, you can give me answer. Have you understood or not? Have you understood, others? Nobody is giving me answer. Okay, Punit, yes. Okay, now you see the journal entries. Now, have you drawn that ledger account? If you have drawn, open that part, and whatever I am explaining, you see to it. Okay, open that part, and whatever I am explaining it to you, to see to it. Okay. Now, number one, what we have to do, the first thing, we have to close all the assets. We have to close all the asset by seeing the balance sheet. Does we close all the assets? So, where we close all the assets? See, ledger I have told you before only. This is the closing of all the asset, and this is the closing of all the, till here, till red pen I have written. This is the closing part of liabilities, and this is the closing part of assets. So assets we have written from to, and liabilities we have written from by. Now you see the journal entries. For closing all the assets, realization account debited to all the assets account. Simple. Whatever, if there is closing of land and building, what you will write? Realization account debited to land and building. Why we are writing to land and building? Does anybody can tell me, give me the answer? Can anybody give me the answer? Why we are writing assets on credit side? Give me the answer, I am waiting. I am waiting for you all to give me the answer. Okay, I am only giving it to you. Okay, see what happened. Asset is, yes, Riddhi, very good. You very nice answer. This is only if I told you realization account debit to all assets. Now only I told you when assets is decreasing, it will be on the credit side. जा रहा है, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. एसेट को बेच के कैश आ रहा है, तो कैश इसीलिए तो हम लोग लिखते हैं बाय बैंक. ओके, नाउ यू सी फॉर क्लोजिंग ऑफ लायबिलिटीज, all liabilities accounts debited to realization. Here liabilities are decreasing, so it will be debited to realization account. Okay, now for paying off the liabilities, we pay it by to bank. Paisa is going, so realization account debited to bank account. Okay, now for realization of assets, what we will write? Money is coming when we are selling the assets, so bank account debited to realization account. Okay, now if liability is paid by the partner, if any liability is paid by the partner, what we will write? Realization account debited to partners capital account. To partners, I have written PC, you understand, to partners capital account. If any asset is taken over by the partners, then partners capital account debited to realization account. You can match it with your ledger. If you have done your ledger, you will match it. Now what happened at the last? Journal entry over here on the debit side. What happens? See, I have done it in the way of debit and credit only. Journal entries I have done in the way of debit and credit part only, of realizations account of debit and credit part only I have done. Then over here we get journal entry for the gain on realization. What we do? Realization account debited to partners capital account, and journal entry for loss on that partners capital account debited to realization account. Isn't it? So have you understood this clear? Only this is the part of the journal entries. Now it should be लेजर को रट लो या जर्नल को रट लो, रटना तो तुमको है ही. if you have done all the ledgers and whatever journals, then you can solve any question from the dissolution. Any questions from dissolution you can solve it. Okay, now we'll do one solving part from. Let us see if there is any journal entries, then I need to explain you. Now you can see from realization account for closing and assets, there is realization to all assets you can write. Okay, now you can see now fictitious assets and all the assets which are there, like advertisement expenses, deferred revenue expenses, and profit and loss, all that will go to partners capital account. Remember that. Okay, for closing of liabilities, this sundry liabilities to realization, because liabilities are decreasing, this we have done. And for debtors, realization to debtors, and provisions will be going on the credit side. Okay, we have when we are selling of the assets. Okay, when asset is taken over the partner, we have all done. Okay, now now I was telling you, if in the question is silent about the realization of asset, it is assumed that the asset has not been realized, Now we will see how it has been done. If an asset is given away to a creditor, in part of full payment of his duties, the agreed amount of asset is deducted from the claim of the creditor and the balance is paid to him. No entry is passed for the transfer of assets. So you underline this or you write it. If it is in your book, you underline. No entry is passed for transfer of assets to the creditor. If any, for any liability you are paying, if any assets you are paying to outsiders, if any asset is you are transferring in terms of cash, your asset, no entry will be passed. No entry will be passed. Only when cashes are paying to the liability, then only the entries will be passed. For example, if the amount due to creditor is 1 lakh and he agrees to take a stock of book value of 80,000 at 70,000 and the balance in cash, the following entry is passed. Only you will realization. So how much we are paying? We are paying him 70,000 asset. ओके हम क्या बोल रहे थे, कितना का एसेट है हमको ये नहीं देखना, हम कितना पे कर रहे हैं उसको वो देखना है, क्यों कितना लॉस हो रहा है कितना प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, यही तो रियलाइजेशन में हमको देखना है. तो कितना हम पे कर रहे हैं उसको 70,000 हम पे कर रहे हैं, 30,000 आई विल पे हिम इन कैश. सो व्हाट विल बी द अकाउंट? रियलाइजेशन अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू बैंक अकाउंट, दैट इज 30,000, दैट इज 30,000. ओके. And what about the asset? Does it anything written that we have sold the asset? We have transferred the assets to the creditor. So no entry for the asset. If we have sold an asset, then we have paid it, then it would have been given an entry for the assets. Okay. This thing you have to understand you write it important. Okay. Now number 4 entry. Okay. If in the question is silent about the payment of liability, it has to be paid out of in full. Okay. Now what is that? See, entries of payment of outside liabilities when recorded or unrecorded. I told you when it will be told and when it will not be told. When liabilities is paid in cash, realization account debited to cash or bank account. Simple. Okay. Now when any partner agrees to take over the realization over the liability, if there is due to partner's loan, then what we will write? Realization account debited to partner's capital, because we are not getting cash, we are reducing our liability by giving it to partners, and partners are crediting it. Partners have been credited by getting something. Okay, this is the thing. When payment for realization, you all know realization to bank account. When realization of when expenses of realizations are paid by partners on behalf, all this I have done it in this form. So you don't have to learn it. You don't have to learn it. Okay. Now one journal entry and one journal entry and one ledger. I'll do it on Monday and Tuesday. Till that I'm giving you time to revise all the journal entries which I have shown you. I hope you have written it. Or I'm giving some time, you can write it. Which page you want, I'll give you. If tell me, I'll give you. You write it. I'm giving you time, and so you don't need to open the book. You can see it from you. Till now you would have understood how all the things are going. This is the main part. You should remember these two is this part. Afterwards you see I am showing it like this. Okay, like this, so that afterwards when you like this I am showing it, so that afterwards when you see my video, then you can have a screenshot. After that you can have a screenshot. Okay. Okay, Punit, what are you asking? Okay, Punit, you are asking if nothing is, it will be mention about the realization expenses, then it will be assumed that the firm has made the realization expense. Yes Punit, you are correct. If nothing will be mentioned about the realization expenses, who has made, so it will be from the firm side. Okay, I'm just keeping it so that you can have a click. Afterwards you can have a click of this notes. Okay, till that you can have a screenshot. Okay. So any more questions, student, about this chapter? You can try, you can by yourself also, you can try some journal entries. Okay. Illustration number 2, you can try. Realization of expenses amounted to 5,000. All this you can try it. Okay. Okay, you can try it. Punit, anything is paid on the realization expenses means only firm's expenses. Okay. Realization expenses means ही only firm. Realization I told you is a firm expense, firm. Realization account is a firm account. We are just naming it like तुम लोग का you are a boy in your house, you have a two name, one is Punit and one is Golu Molu in your house. So if I am talking about Golu Molu, whom I am talking about? I am talking about Punit. So that is only the thing. If I am talking about realization, I am talking about firm's realization. Isn't it, Punit? Now you got it? Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care. We'll meet on Monday. Okay. And do practice as your exams. You have got all the notices from your exam for your exams. Do prepare nicely for your exam. Okay. Because this is only the part of your first step to the board exam. If you are clearing your first step, you are in a success position. This will show you where you are lying it. Okay. Thank you everyone. Bye. Take care.